Very good, friends. Hi, Doc South here. Let me just adjust. Oh my gosh. Was gee, that's a big thumb. Well, I hit it with a hammer. Yes. Oh gosh. No. I forget that there's the actual camera. The camera lens is right there. Yeah. So now and then, yeah. Okay. Well, I got a good one for you. I found this today. You know how Facebook does what you did a year ago? They'll post something. And this was actually one of my favorite blurbs. I'd forgotten about this. Luckily, I had it stored. It wasn't lost or anything, but I was able to find it. It's called Cheese Puffs for Everyone. I did this, was this? I did this about, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, back when I worked for A&P, A&P Supermarkets. This is not about the store I presently work for, but yeah, A&P. And I think you'll like it. Okay. Especially if you've ever worked in a supermarket, this is one of those great opportunities that comes only to supermarket workers. They're there when the sale begins. Right. Well, here you go. The other day at the A&P, I was walking to the dairy case when one of the managers asked me if I liked cheese puffs. He didn't have to ask twice. I said that I did. I just have to be careful not to eat the ones with monosodium glutamate in them. But other than that, I love those things. So the manager said how he's thinking about having a sale. With that, he told me to turn around and look over towards the front of the store between aisles 6 and 7. Friends, there was this giant mountain of 1 gallon jars that spanned the space between two aisles. Yeah, it easily measured 10 foot by 10 foot and rose to a staggering height of 7 feet, maybe higher. I'm just quoting from memory. The display might have been really much bigger. Each jar in the pile was filled to the brim with those big round cheese puffs. Now we're talking those gallon jars. Yeah, okay. I felt fortunate to well, wait a minute. No, I think there was a sale sign on each side of the pile, a big sale sign. Each jar filled to the brim with those big round cheese puffs. Yes, sir. This may have been the biggest display of cheese puffs known to man. I felt fortunate to have seen it before the crowds came. I felt like I should have covered it and had one of those unveilings like Dinah Shore used to do with the new model Chevy back in the day. It was that spectacular. It was perhaps the biggest display I ever saw, and it was cheese puffs. Yeah, I came to find out that the boss that this was a result of a computer glitch. He thought he was ordering 50 jars of cheese puffs. In reality, the computer saw it as 50 cases, and they were pretty big cases too. You know, like 10 to a case. Yeah. Luckily, jarred cheese puffs don't go bad anytime soon. I got to thinking about them and spent most of the day slugging it out in the dairy aisle with cheese puffs on my mind. He had about 500 or 600 gallons of cheese puffs to sell. Or else. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, first off, cheese puffs last forever. I don't think I've ever heard of cheese puffs being found on the shelf past their expiration date. To begin with, they sell very fast, but I also think they have a shelf life that's measured in decades rather than days. Haven't archaeologists found sealed jars of cheese puffs in the ancient pyramids at Giza? I think they have, and they were still crunchy and mighty darn good, too. Just the thing to eat when you're busy translating hieroglyphics. The funny thing is that cheese puffs have not changed one iota from when the ancients first created them. Cheese puffs are a joy to eat. Many folks can eat them as a reward for a job well done. Some knock down a bag for lunch to sustain their energy for the afternoon chores. They're always at celebrations. Heck, be it a rich person's party or a poor person's party, you always see cheese puffs on the snack table. If they aren't there sitting next to potato chips, you've got to just wonder what the heck's up. What kind of host do you got here? Yeah, the crunch they have is unmistakable. That cheese dust gets all over our fingers when we eat them. It just makes our day. Licking our fingers afterwards adds hours to the fun. To tell the truth, when you first open a bag of cheese puffs, don't you just love to take in a big fat whiff? The joy they give us knows no bounds. Like all creations, cheese puffs are made of star stuff. They come from the universe. I would think that after God did all his creation work, like building heaven, the universe, angels, mankind, and the like, just before he rested on the Sabbath, he knocked out cheese puffs. Yeah, it's probably one of the last things he did. Yeah, it was probably probably the last thing he did before he went to bed on Saturday night. He probably cooked them overnight, and once he had a nice bag of them in hand, he sat back on Sunday and, well, just chilled. Maybe watched football or a very old movie, sitting there with a big old bowl of cheese puffs. The cheese dust got in his beard, but so what? Here on Earth, and I'm sure on distant planets, cheese puffs are created by the megatons in a continuous wave of creation. It's sort of like the Big Bang Theory, only tastier. Simple ingredients brought together, a sudden reaction occurs, and a resulting tidal wave of creation explodes out of nowhere. Much like the universe expanded, cheese puffs explode into existence out of nowhere. It's like Einstein said, E equals mc squared. Energy and matter equals cheese puffs. Yeah. If you want to understand God and creation and all that is holy and good, friends, consider the lowly cheese puff. It's one of the eternal building blocks of existence. Mystics and psychics tell me that when a soul arrives in heaven, each and every one is presented with a nice jar of, yep, you guessed it, cheese puffs. The A&P gave St. Peter a good deal, by the way. Yeah, well, we got plenty. And I noticed in some of my postings after when I did this thing a year or two ago, no, more than a few years ago, people actually now and then will Facebook me, message me or something, and say, "Boy, I still think of that giant display of cheese puffs at your old store." Yeah. Oh, it was something. Oh God, if someone took one out from the bottom, I think a person could have been killed. Anyway, friends, I thought you might enjoy that. Go have some cheese puffs and smile a bit today. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye now.